Habari Dadas all over Kenya and East Africa. Welcome to your show. This is the Dadas Show. We are on KBC Channel 1 and we come to you every Sunday at 4 p.m. We are so honored and so happy that you are watching us. The Valentine stories continue unabated. Today we want to talk about, as we walk away from Valentine's and February, we want to talk about situationships. I don't know if you've heard that word. It's a new word. Situation and then ships. And to break it down, I am joined by the Reverend with a collar. By the way, you're the first Reverend with a collar we've ever had.
This is amazing.
You frightened by the Dadas.
I'm sorry. I didn't get the memo. I'm sorry. Don't get intimidated. I'm a cool guy. I'm fresh like that.
The very first Reverend on our show, Reverend Ken.
Awesome.
And Hellen.
Thank
Please
you for
introduce yourselves.
Wow. My name is Ken Aringo, a.k.a. Pasi, a.k.a. The Rev. I'm a youth minister at Nairobi Chapel, Ngong Road, an ordained minister of the Anglican Church of Kenya.
Wow, okay. And you didn't say you're an author.
I am an, oh yes, thank you.
You have another dangerous book.
I'm sparing the Dadas. I'm sparing the Dadas. I don't want to come too much at you guys. Yes, I'm an author of the bestseller, The Software of Sex. You heard it right, The Software of Sex. God gave you the hardware, you must download the software. And I'm helping you do it.
Haya, mambo ni namna hiyo. Hellen?
Yes, hi, how are you? My name is Wambui, Hellen Wambui. Sila is my husband. I'm born again. I love the Lord. I am an advocate by training, an advocate of the High Court, currently also doing fashion design. Okay. Yes, and I'm married to a wonderful man named Justice Sila.
Okay.
Yes.
So the two of you are watu wa Mungu.
Yes.
So it is okay, karibuni watu wa Mungu, but you must tell us the truth.
Yes,
I will.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we want the truth.
Nothing but the truth.
Nothing but the truth.
If you insist.
So first you must tell us, have you ever heard of the word situationships?
Wow.
Yes. Have you ever heard of a situationship?
Well, it is very new. I'm not new to it. And situationships actually is a word that loosely used to define relationships that don't have an identity, relationships that don't have a brand, relationships that are neither here nor there. You know that thing of we are not sure what are we, that's exactly a situationship, whereby you find yourself in this place and you have not really defined where is this thing going. Okay. That is the simplest definition of a situationship.
Okay. Hellen, how do situationships normally happen?
Usually, situationships happen because people get into a relationship, a romantic relationship, without either defining it, deciding to commit, or simply saying, what is this and how far are we going? So there's no common purpose, no common intention when getting into a romantic relationship without a definition, situationship.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's situational.
That's right.
Yes.
We found ourselves. Found ourselves.
Tumejipata. Tumepatikana kwa hii kitu.
So while we are here,
yes.
What do we do?
Okay.
What do we do with this?
Okay.
Yes.
So, Pasi, have you ever found yourself in a situationship? Tell us the truth. Now I've put you on the nini. Yeah. Tell us the truth.
Allow us to talk generally.
Tell Kenyans the truth.
You don't put pastors on the spot. Please, don't record this. Hope no one is recording. Yes, but that's so true. I'm really humbled even to share my own story. Okay. Why do I talk about it? I'm very passionate about relationships working right. Okay. I'm a relationship expert. That's by training and by passion and heart. And so my situationship was like this. I was traveling and I'm in this country and I really know that I can't be lonely for long. So I'm a people person. And by then I didn't have a collar. Just a disclaimer. I have a collar, I was not an ordained minister. But I was serving God. I love God. I'm a Christian. I was a Christian. But I just wanted to be in a place where I'm able to bond with somebody. And I reach out. I'm good with lyrics. I can talk for myself. I don't need help. And so I got the help from God from inside. And I reached out and I got this wonderful friend, lady friend, and something happened. We connected, heart to heart. You know that KBFF thing. And I'm here for several months and I'm thinking, wow, okay, this time will come and I'll go. But the person on the other end had reached cloud 10. I thought it would be cloud 9 at most, but they were at cloud 10. And they're pushing for the ages for, can we define this thing? And time is ticking, and I know I need to go back home. And that courage to say, you know what, I'm not sure whether you know, but there's actually time up. This thing cannot go far the way you see it. And I think that just being in that awkward position where you have to state the case that you are living, and the person ameingia na strombili became really hard. And I think for me, the breaking point was when I had to travel back, things were not well defined. I come back and they're still reaching out. Can you reach out? Can we talk about the wedding plans? Hey, which one? Well, I'm not yet there.
Actually, wedding plans.
Yeah. You are the best man.
There was no engagement and they are talking about wedding plans.
Exactly. Some people actually shoot for the end. And that scared me.
So you had to shake her.
Back to reality.
Yeah?
Yes, back to reality.
Did you crush her spirit? What was the reaction?
I would not. I would say yes. There was a crushing, her heart broken. But I tried my best to just say, you know what? I think ulipeleka mbio sana. Ulienda na nduthi, mimi nilikuwa SGR. Come slowly. I think
but Pasi, let's be honest.
Yes.
Even by the time you were getting into this thing, did you think it would end up in marriage?
No.
Let's just be honest.
No. Certainly not. But you know how you know this thing? I think there's that rawness of starting out. You're like, kaende.
And so you were having a kaende moment that almost...
And I love the person. Yeah.
Okay.
I love the person. If fate were to happen, I was going to stay there really for long or forever. I would really love it. It was one of those people you really love, cherish, and I wouldn't mind. But clearly, that one, I knew this is just for the season.
Okay.
But I just didn't say it. That's the problem. I think that's the danger where people, you need to be bold enough to say, you know what, for the next 6 months I'm here. I'm not sure I want to stay here, and you are a resident here. And so clearly, let's not think marriage. Then the person says, if that's not the case, I'm out.
Yeah.
I would have given the option for the person to pull out. So I let her on. That was wrong of me.
Okay.
Many sins I repent about.
Okay. Hellen, have you ever been in a situationship?
Yes. Actually, let me start out by saying that a relationship can progress into a situationship, a real relationship. In fact, even a marriage can progress into a situationship.
A marriage can progress into a situationship?
Very seriously.
We'll get into that.
So what happened to me, I was much older, so I was thinking marriage. So the person I met, we became good friends, and after some time, about 2 years of getting to know each other, just friends. So they said, okay, can we progress into dating for marriage? So I said yes. So we committed, and we knew the timeline. We were planning the wedding. We were going to plan the wedding at some point because I was still in school. So unfortunately, in the first year of dating for marriage, and my friend became entangled with someone else, another woman. And this I came to know through another common friend, another mutual friend. So I decided to confront the person, because even before I was told by my friend, I could see the signs when someone stops picking your calls, missing dates, not having an explanation, working even on Saturday and Sunday. So on one occasion, my friend asks me, how come you and your boyfriend don't come to functions together? And you see, that's an accountability system now. Well, so I was forced to confront him, and I had been having ideas about it for some time. So he said, yes, I have feelings for someone else. And he didn't say he has feelings for me.
Wow, okay.
So in that moment, maybe I was a bit naive. I said, okay. He asked for time to sort out his feelings. I said, okay, fine. I'll give you a month. And we agreed we'll meet after a month. So I went back to school. I was still in school. So I went back to school. I still have to go to class and all that, but I couldn't sleep that night. And I kept thinking, is this the person I want to get married to? I mean, if at this point this is already happening, and you can have feelings for someone but not act on them. But now if you stop picking my calls and going on dates with someone else, on my currency, I can't have that. So in the wee hours of the morning, I just told him, I can't be with you anymore. I have been committed for marriage. I can see you are not, so I'm breaking up with you. Okay. And we never got back together. It was a long time of healing, but I healed. God healed me. Yes, and I was able to meet someone else. So I can see a committed relationship can move to a situationship when one person is no longer committed. Yes.
Pasi, how do you know you're in a situationship?
Number one, I call it ghosting.
Ghosting.
MIA. Missing in action. you cannot account for where I am. I tell you, I'm in Ruaka, but a friend says we were in Naivasha. When
Kuna
there are many,
picture.
thank you.
I see you have been tagged
Thank you.
by somebody.
Is this you?
Is this?
There are many untruths, but also you don't rely on each other for emotional support. That's the key. You know, like she's saying, where someone honestly is dropping a very loud hint, even with actions. But sometimes what happens is we are phased away and we start denying that reality of what we are seeing. I think the greatest definition for me, or rather the indicator, the red flag to look out for, is that is this someone you can count on? Are you able to dream together? Are you able to see a future together? Because the nature of a relationship should have a progression. The curve of a relationship that is healthy should draw towards, moving towards something. Last month we were here, last year we were here, we're heading somewhere. But if you are there for 3 years with the same person, and they tell you the best team they only love, the food they love, everything is superficial. You've never reached to the depths of the issues of, these are my fears. This is me, these are my values. This is what I would die for. There's an issue right there.
Okay.
And so you need to investigate. How are you growing deep? The Bible says deep calls unto deep. So if you're not going deep, ask yourself, where are you going?
Yeah.
Those are indicators.
So for you, for the guys, for us girls,
Yes.
we look out for ghosting.
Yes, ghosting and untruths. Where one thing I say, the other time I'm contradicting myself. They are lies, basically. I think that the other thing just basically is, are you able to see yourself being brought closer, even to his family? If you're a woman or a lady, I'm going out with you, and you don't know my parents, you have no idea who my siblings are, where I come from, where I live. I ensure that we meet somewhere in a lodging or somewhere very far. We do our biashara huko there, FWB, and I don't say. Find out, do I have a family of origin? What, am I a monster? Ama mimi ni mchawi wale wakimbia usiku. Find out, investigate. No background. Go for the root.
So if we've had a relationship, you've never introduced me to your friends.
Yes. My
we
family.
Meet somewhere, only the two of us. It's a secret.
You are so precious to be introduced. You are alone. You are alone.
Uko tu peke yako.
The day na kutoka. Where do you trace? At a Google pin you can't drop. You are alone.
Helen, what are some of the signs and symptoms for guys, especially from girls, that a guy should know hapa there's no future?
I think that's a very good question, because there are men who want to commit, but then they meet women who do not want to commit. So I think that's one of the things you can look out for, as he was saying. A woman who will not, they don't even want to discuss the future. Even a small issue like how many children do you want to have? That's an issue for the future. So someone who is not willing to build a family with you or discuss a family with you, that is a woman who will not commit to you and definitely put you in a situationship. The other thing is women who use men. There is the whole idea of chaliwa nywele, kwa simu umeseviwa hivyo, chaliwa rent.
You might even find on Truecaller.
Yes.
On Truecaller you are called chaliwa rent.
It's unfortunate.
Chaliwa pizza.
Yeah. I mean, they only call you when they need credit or when they need fare to go to a concert which you're not invited to. They want to go with someone else, but you provide the fare or you provide the facilitation. That's a woman who will not who will put you in a situationship. And also women who tell you for sure, I am married, but I want us to have something. So I'm not getting what I need from inside. So can we just have like a thing going?
Brother.
Or flirtatious conversations. Women who just continuously engage you in, hey, you look nice, your shirt is so cool. I mean, you begin to become entangled in a situationship, and before you know it, you're no longer available for actually single women. That can easily happen. So men should watch out for that.
Okay. Percy, when you get into a situationship, I think for many of us, we are perplexed. We find ourselves, I like what Helen, the word she's used, entangled. There was a story about some people who are in an entanglement.
We won't mention
them. In entanglement.
Yes.
You don't know whether you are in, you are out,
to
go sideways. it's like a snare, like you
Yes.
don't know, like you are in a miry pit.
That's right.
And you know, how do you begin to get yourself out of that situation? How do you begin to think about what should you do?
Wow. I think by the time you find yourself in an entanglement, one thing I always say, never lose how you got in. Have a good memory. Okay? It's not an event. An entanglement is not an event. It's a process. And like you say, when someone starts, you know, you begin a conversation, I'd like to have 2 kids. Na anaondoka to the subject of geography ile alifanya shule ile ilianguka. Then you ensure, again, push that button. Now, at that point, you need to make a demand. The easiest way to get out of an entanglement is admit that you are in one. And it takes 2 to tangle. That, for me, is the formula that I don't know what is. That doesn't take rocket science to know that it's 2 people who have found themselves in this. So call the other person out and say, you know what? I am getting concerned that we meet after every 3 weeks, you disappear for 3 months. And you come back as if nothing happened. I know people who, and my therapy room, who are saying, I am not sure he's my husband, my fiancé, my boyfriend, but tunapanga harusi. But I see the guy thrice in a year. When he comes back with super gifts from abroad, makolon zote za nguvu. When we finish that weekend and have the good time, when he leaves, that's how he has left. So make a demand and say, there is no way I'm going to live my life in limbo, waiting for 3 months, not sure where you are. I need accountability. So who can I ask when you are away? Unakuanga na nani? Then you are starting to call out the issues. So that don't, and I think the danger of trying to tackle this emotional, this is a problem most women have. Where unakuja sasa na ubaya, you are kicking things, umekuja kwa hoteli unaangusha kwa shefa na supu zimemwagiwa. Nothing will be discussed.
Tumekuja kwa job, sasa tunakuja kukutafuta.
Hata utajua ujui. By the time you finish that drama, let me tell you the truth, nothing will be said. And you'll hurt yourself. So in fact, organize a nice meal. Hellen come through. Tuketi vizuri, piga massage. Sema now, today I want us to talk, but I want to talk as someone. If you have not defined me, allow me to define myself. And my values don't allow me to be someone's side chick. So I'm asking, am I your fiancé, your wife, whatever? The last time I checked, Oju Wazazi, you have not paid nothing. You have not come home to honor my parents. And when you see that one, mtu anaanza kukauka mate, mdomo, ujue kuna noma. So call things out. Demand for answer, demand for definitions of terms.
Okay. How soon? I know we were somewhere where you were asked this question and you slid. This one don't slide here. You're on national TV.
Why bringing
now? How soon should we ask? What are we? How soon should we ask? Because you know, wanaume wa siku hizi they are very dangerous. Munakunywa kahawa. One good year, you're just drinking coffee in hotels.
That's right.
How soon should you say, I want to know what we are, define what we are?
That's right. I think it takes, again, I see, watch out for the cues. There's a time I say that a proposal can be too early, or a conversation can be premature. So I must have done particular things, said particular things to show you that I'm pulling towards a direction. At that point, when you can say, you know what, based on this raw material, on this day, uliniambia sweetheart, ukanitumia 4,000, nilipe rent. Even my dad has never paid my rent since I left campus. On this day, you did 1, 2, 3. On account of this, am I thinking wrongly? If I were to conclude, an advocate is here, can tell us, present exhibit, submissions, bring submissions. And say, on account of this, and wanaume, you know, men are very logical. Shida wanawake most times, I'm sorry, dadas, you come with so much emotion. Paka by the time memaliza, I'm like, what exactly were you saying? You ulifanya ukafanya. I'm like, what? Come slowly, tell me what exactly I did. Yes, to put date, 7th of April, 2020, in the middle of Corona. Uliniwacha kwa mata. December ukanipigia. You even talk to my sister. My sister asked me, how is your guy? And this guy, I don't even know. I'm the guy on the front end. And my sister thinks there is such a thing. Ato kamtumia kwa nini mchwari. Ukakuachua on her behalf. You know, the people who they befriend your family. There's nothing. Then the day now they leave you, your family thinks you are the bad one. In fact, your mom says, that boy, ni mzuri sana. Hata juzi aliniko. I have such a scenario. So guys, I want to say this. Please, when you realize the activities, exhibits, things being done, being said, that are leading you on, say, I'm getting confused. On account of 1, 2, 3, help me. Be logical.
Okay. Hellen, before we go into a break?
Yes, thank you. I would say this: date people who you know. At least date people you know. The way not to get into a situationship, at least from the beginning, date somebody who you already know, somebody who you have seen for a while, unsupervised friendship. So that by the time someone is saying, I want to date you, you have an idea of, I have never seen him with so-and-so, or her with, I don't know any emotional issues around her, and that makes it safe.
Yeah.
The other thing is date when you're marriage ready, because most of the time, most people will get into a relationship maybe for fun, adventure, especially when you're a bit young. And that's the time a lot of heartbreaks will happen. Because both of us got into a relationship, we were just part of a clique, we were probably even coupled up. So there's peer pressure around dating
Friend
for
zone.
young people. Yeah, you're friends, but you don't know you're friend zoned, yet the other person thinks you're their girlfriend. So that's still a situationship, and it will end up in heartbreak because none of you knows what they want. You're not saying, I want to date you. Oh, the other thing, please date with common purpose. I would really insist on that. Let someone, especially for men, approach a woman when you're saying, I would like to date you with an intention of getting married. So that this dating is exclusive. It is only me and you.
And we both know.
And we both know that we are dating so that we can get to know each other a little bit better before we do the proposal. If things don't work out at the dating stage, then we are free to go our separate ways. But we entered this dating with an intention of getting married.
Okay.
Yes.
We need to go into a break, but I must share this one story. I hardly ever share my stories on Dadas, but this one I'll throw in a small one. When I was in college, I dated a guy, and then I discovered he had a girlfriend, yeah? And then I asked him, how can you have a girlfriend and I'm your girlfriend? And he said, but you never asked me. You never asked me whether I had a girlfriend. If you had asked me, I would have told you. I thought you knew, That as we go into a break.
So it was a buffet.
Ask. Good to ask. Now you know.
I was
Lesson.
shocked to learn that you have to ask.
Lesson is ask.
Don't just take things for granted that because we are dating, we are exclusive.
Yeah.
It is very interesting. People don't necessarily think that dating is something that is exclusive. People have different values. So anyway, we are going into a break. Grab a tea, a coffee, kahawa, ka chai hivi, ka kitu. Come back. Don't go too far. We'll be right back. So we are back and we're talking about situationships. And I wanted to contrast what is a relationship? Because I think all of us, allow me to say this, when you want to teach somebody how to identify bad money in the bank, you allow them to touch
The genuine
good money,
and
the genuine money.
Yeah.
I think many of us do not know what a genuine relationship looks like. And therefore, we struggle and end up in situationships because we don't know what is a criteria for a good relationship. So Percy, I'll start with you. What is a relationship?
Thank you. I will go back to the book of life, the one that informs what I do and I've come to appreciate. First as a married man and as someone who has made mistakes, I've tested the genuine and the fake. Amos is a prophet in the Bible. In Amos chapter 3 and verse 3, he gives a very wise counsel. He says, how can two people walk together unless they have agreed to do so? The way you are just told, "Aukuuliza," that simply tells you we need to have some common points of agreement. So the first date, I'll never forget a lady who I'm married to now 17 years. First date I took her out. Zile maswali niliulizwa ni kama interview ya CNN. As in, she asked me questions that I'm like, who does that? You don't ask me that. So where do you see yourself in 5 years? Is it just a date? Do you just want to hang out, know me more about my career? By the way, I want to do this in the next 5 years. I want to do a master's. I have 1, 2, 3. I've accomplished 1, 2, 3. You want to know about my salary? Or I'm like, hey.
Come slowly.
But she's saying, I don't have a lot of time. So whatever we are doing, we may not have a lot of time to run around.
Yeah.
And I discovered, wow, this is what I had missed. And that for me was the point of attraction.
Okay.
I just realized I need a solid person who, after a date, you're thinking, hey, I grew. In fact, unaona tu hata kakavu kamechora, there was a growth. Because some people, you're with someone for 10 years, 5 years, and you cannot remember anything they've ever added value to your life. And so is it a place of agreement where both of you are able to say, I'm comfortable and I can ask anything. I don't have to second guess, nikisema hii itatokaje, atanichukuliaje. Some people are not, you are walking on eggshells, literally. So a good relationship is where there's a sense of an environment of acceptance, an environment whereby I can be myself, I can be real, I can be authentic, and I'm able to ask, and I know I'm expecting to hear from the other end the truth.
Okay, Pasi, do you sometimes feel that because of the media that we've consumed, and many of us have consumed a lot of media, thanks to television, and movies, and a lot of songs,
And
soaps, and we watch a lot of soaps. We have a very warped idea about what a relationship should be, what it should look like, what it should feel like, how long it should take. I think today, I feel sorry for a lot of our younger people, because I think a lot of the relationships are portrayed as very quick, very fast, microwave.
Yes.
Yeah, let us run to bed.
That's right.
What is, and because you've been counseling people, what have you noticed?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Number one, thank you for raising that. It's a biggie, because the only way to shape a society is start messing up the value system.
Yeah.
And so for me, what the secular warped media has brought out, in the sense of, if I portray a relationship or a marriage as we met in a park, hata sijui jina yako, and then one night stand happened, or not is one day stand.
Yeah, no, we fall in love, we ride a bicycle, then we eat pizza, we look into each other's eyes.
If that is the
take selfies.
The selfie.
Yes.
If that is the narrative that we constantly hear, it starts forming us.
Yeah.
We are formed by the information that we consume. We are also transformed by the information. I hope that this is one of those platforms, and I know, of transformation. So, number one, I need to first be clear in asking somebody. You cannot vet anything if you don't have values. The sieve with which you vet is your value system. And so I want to say, before you consume everything that you're watching, can you ask yourself, what are my values? Go with that will be your sieve. That is what, right now, if I saw people having fun, enjoying each other physically, some a man and a woman, after I walk out from here, God, trust me, I will not admire them. I'll say good for them. And some of us, kuna ile burning, I just want, this time, nani kila mtu na wake. And because nani alichapa wake, hata mimi sasa lazima leo nitakula mavitu. And there's a problem. I want to say, guys, if we're going to get there, key thing, get your values right.
Yeah.
As a man thinketh, so is he. The Bible says. So I want to say, how are you vetting in receiving? There's no problem. Content you can, and I don't blame those who are putting their content. They have a right.
Yeah.
We live in a free society. Do what you want to do. But the reality is this, you need to be able to ask, where is my stand? Have a personal stand.
Yeah.
That is what will save you from all this media that is flying everywhere, right on our faces.
Helen, what is a relationship when you think about it? What does that look like?
For me, a relationship starts with exclusivity.
Okay.
We are not going to be many people in. It's not a buffet.
Yeah.
I'm here with you and you alone. Yes. And secondly, there's a common purpose. We may be different, we may have different things to do for fun and all that. Some things are short-lived. Today you like bicycle riding, tomorrow you like skating, but what are we going to be doing together in 50 years?
Yeah.
I need to see that. The third thing I need to see is an intention to be attached to me permanently for the rest of our lives. So it's not today we are just, we're hanging out, then tomorrow I'll find you finding someone else. And all that. We need to be together. I need to see a commitment to me for the rest of our lives. And that will help me realize that surely I can also give you my commitment. Yes, and also there's companionship, because we cannot be online dating forever. If we met online, today people meet online. So we cannot be online dating or chatting every day 24 hours a day, and we are never having physical companionship or meeting physically. I do not know your family. That's companionship. It extends because now it's an emotional, romantic. It becomes even spiritual, and as you progress towards the wedding day, it's now family spiritual because now that's a soul tie. So there must be companionship. Yes.
See, the fact that we have sampled so much, jumped from one situationship to another, sampled so much, I'm sure we end up in your counseling room at some point, even when we get married.
Gladly so.
And I know that you take our money.
Yes.
But what have you observed about the impact of situationships in people's lives?
Wow. Number one, I think anytime you drive a vehicle, or rather you are buying a vehicle and you are told you are the fourth owner or the fifth owner, you can
The
be
second
sure.
hand.
Thank you. I'm not a very good lover of second hand. The law in me demands that it's fresh from the karatasi. And so the danger of sampling too much, really, it's for me, is that you find someone who, if you touch anything, and I see this a lot I'm a marriage therapist, and I can find sometimes couples fighting about something that you touched and like, what did I touch? I just said a statement. You flew like the world is coming to an end. You reminded me 10 years ago, or 6 years ago, or 3 years ago. So the danger of sampling, every of those samples leaves you with a wound and a story. And that's why I hate the thought that people can think that we can be friends with benefits. You simply do the physical thing, and we're in Miami, and what ends in Nevada?
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas. It doesn't stay there. You carry it in your heart. No wonder the Bible says, God, above all things, guard your heart with all diligence. Proverbs 4:23. Because issues of life flow from your heart. You will never divorce your heart from that situationship. So just remember, every situationship, you are carrying something, whether you like it or not. And those emotional wounds begin to hurt you when you become sober. And so you're with your husband in your 20th anniversary, and you just remember how this thing just broke you so bad. I'm telling you, it is so painful. Or a guy comes, one of his brothers just appears from there like, wait, amenikumbusha to the ex. So guys, please, if you can avoid, some of us are here to tell you our stories. I like the fact that you're saying you rarely share, but you share today. I hope you helped a sister. I'm helping a brother. Please, we have done so many of those sampling. Learn from us. Don't go down that path. Please treasure your heart. Wait for it. Wait for that man. And please have some value on yourself. Put a value on yourself. And guess what? Already God gave us a value. He says in 1 Corinthians 16:20, don't you know that you are not your own? You are bought at a price. You are of value. You are the apple of your Creator's eye. That lets me challenge you and warn you. Behave like a fast owner. You know, when you enter that dealer shop, and you're told when you are kwanza, mileage zero. Utalipa.
Unatoa karatasi.
But here number 4. Bwana ya 250,000. Hii siwezi lipa 750. And wonder watu wanakula, mtu amekula last week huko. Geographically you are a moving geographical accident.
Helen, when you think about people who have been in situationships, and situationships have happened to them, and some of them just happen, you know. They are not thought out. They are confusion. Sometimes these situationships, I think as a lawyer, you've seen the repercussions. They end up in children. They may end up, and especially in children. What have you seen, especially as an advocate?
You mentioned children, and many times you go to court and you feel, surely, why can't she just let him see the child? Unfortunately, the entanglement is so much that the anger blinds the parent. I mean, as a parent, you should let the other parent see the child. But because you are still handling your pain and your confusion and sometimes anger even at yourself, you feel like the child should no longer be associated with the other person, or you want to punish the other person. The other part is divorce. Sometimes because a situation, somebody maybe traveled for work, they, you know, and they went and got into a situationship because there were no boundaries. as we were saying, a marriage can proceed into a...
Yes.
Yes, and now you find the woman discovers or the man discovers that you went out of our marriage bed. Or you flirted with somebody. And that's simple enough for me to get agitated about. So if we cannot resolve that conflict, which started with just a situationship, then this is no longer going to work for us. So, and I also see friends. You betray your friends, something ends up in murder. So you can see, if you do not control yourself, or you make a conscious choice that you will not step out and go into the unclean areas or areas you're not allowed to step into, like the example I've given of someone dating their boyfriends, their friend's girlfriend, they fight in a pub, someone takes a chupa and, it's on the head and someone is on the floor. That whole situation was not thought out, but it ends up in murder court. So people really need to be careful about situationships. Yes?
Pasi, I hear a lot about boundaries. And I think for me, what always concerns me is that we talk about boundaries when people are married. I think we don't realize that boundaries begin when people are young and single. If I don't have my boundaries when I'm single, surely you don't expect me to get boundaries when I'm
True.
Yeah, when you I think we make a lot of assumptions. You meet me, I am promiscuous, you get married to me, and then now you start telling the women of the church to pray, and the pastors pray for my husband, is very promiscuous. But you met him like that. Or you met me when I was drinking alcohol. Now when we are married, you want me to stop drinking using a miraculous power. What would you say to that, Pasi? Because I think you really need to lean in on that one.
Wow. Allow me just to say that sometimes we live in denial and we hope against hope. And women have a challenge of being fixers. Women believe that they can fix anything. Wacha. Huyu kwanza. Nipatia tu miezi.
Nitamusondeka mimi.
Nitamweka vizuri. You will admire him. And so you come in with an engineer perspective, a mechanic. Chini ya gari umepanda juu. You are trying to fix this guy. Sorry. Please stop. You are not a mechanic of hearts. Just wachana nayo. Just if you know for sure that you're seeing, and that's why we talk about red flags. Just call the reggae off. Stop the reggae. Just stop the reggae. And so let's not deceive ourselves that we can do a mighty work of transforming this guy, because nitampenda mpaka asiwahi fikiria mtu mwingine. I met a lady who shocked me, my dear. Can I say this? This moved me many years back. This is how she put it. Yani, this guy, after being with him for 3 years, look what I got. And niwale amesimama. The lady is super beautiful, to die for. Even after being in a dating sexual relationship with a guy, like, the person he's cheating on me with, I can't even look at her twice. And like, that's exactly the height of pride. It's not about your looks, my guy. And I could almost say there's an attitude issue here. So you can here be looking all good, but vile utatoa mdomo uongee one word. I would rather be in a sewage with someone where you are shocked, but you don't know. That's what drives me away. So I want to say this, guys. Please make some demands on your value. I'll go back to the issue of value system. If you're going to drink away a whole weekend and tell me, sorry, I just had too much kwa na mama boys wangu usijali, but now I'm back at you. So what do you think I'll sitting here waiting? Then again, you move in and plan a wedding. Enter marriage. With all this stuff, what are you seeing? So I think we need to start be self-respecting and say, you know what, based on 1, 2, 3, I think I'm not moving on. This is for me, not even for you. And so the key thing is there's a fixing mentality. I will sort you out. Me, nipatia 2 time. You'll be sorted. You can't. You're cheating yourself. Okay. Leave the brother alone.
We walk
Wacha Mungu amsort.
Tuachane na yeye. And what about for women? Do you think that also for guys we also take a girl who is looking a bit dubious and we think that if we love her hard enough, atabadilika?
Well, most of the time you'll find it's the woman who wants to fix the man. But I've heard of stories where a man waited for a woman for a long time. And she continued being dubious, as you see. Although she never stepped out of the marriage, she was just uncommitted to the responsibilities of marriage. And so that, well, at the end it ended up well. The lady got born again, which is a very rare story.
It's a very rare
It's
story.
a very rare story. But I said, praise the Lord. I mean, if that happens, well, that's okay.
Yeah.
So for the men, I would say sometimes, yes, you might find someone who feels this is the woman to die for. As he was saying, nitampenda tu alafu atatulia. Because unfortunately, you might find that for women, the main problem when you find someone who cannot commit, maybe there are past issues that have happened.
Yeah.
And so they are with you for the need that is
Yeah.
being satisfied,
Yeah.
and they will not stay. And as I said, nowadays there are also women who will want to be in a situationship and actually tell you directly, I just want a child. Yeah, that's all I want. So once you get into that mix, they get their baby, you're done for. If you are entangled, that's too bad.
Okay.
You're going to have to face your future spouse with that information, and it's not funny. Knowing that your child is walking around somewhere and you're that kind of a man who wants to have a relationship with your child, I think men should be very careful of those kind of women. Yes.
Pasi, any parting shots for situationshippers?
Hallelujah. Toka, kimbia.
Flee.
If you can't finish it, don't start it.
Okay.
Done.
Helen?
I would say this. There are many wonderful men and women in the world. You don't have to date every person you're attracted to. Take time. Know people. Understand what they're about. Identify common intentions and common values, as Pasi was saying. In the right time and when you are a settled mind, you're in the right space, you will meet someone who wants to work with you. Yes, so don't settle for a situationship.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to end with these few remarks. I hardly ever do this. I don't know what's happening to me.
It's the anointing. He said I'll come with a collar.
Am I in the right space?
You're safe.
This quick thought. There used to be a sitcom once. I'll not say the name. It had about 6 young people. They were single. And statistics say that they slept with each other, the 6 of them, 80 times. And none of them ever got married to the other. Talk about entanglement. And we all had fun. We laughed about it. It had quite a number of seasons, and we thought it was very funny and ridiculous. And we still laugh about it today. But this is what we consume every day. And we tell ourselves it doesn't affect us. I think as we go into this week, think about your entanglements. And I want to say, as Pasi said, run for your life. Yeah. With those few remarks, have a great week and baraka.